I don't know. We're here. Why don't we just go live and pretend we're not live?
No.
Casually
Uh,
chatting.
the cat Harrowhark has his Harrow for short is has tried to stand on the theremin, um which we are trying to discourage, along with eating things he shouldn't and climbing into the 3D printer enclosure that we made to keep him out of it.
Can you
Wait.
get the cat to play the
Okay, yeah,
theremin?
cat on a theremin sounds like something an insult you'd apply to somebody for the quality of their
It
music.
sounds like a position in a ska band.
Oh my god! Wait, yeah, that's real. I love that. Oh my god! If I release an album, that's gonna be what it's called, the cat on the theremin.
Does your cat make noise on a theremin?
I haven't done it with it plugged in yet. Actually, I should.
You saw
I should
your
have
cat on a theremin and didn't think, I'm gonna turn that on.
Cause I have to like plug in the amp and plug in the power source, and I was lazy and too busy thinking, is my cat gonna fuck up my theremin? I see. This is how you can tell that I'm not a real musician, because my thought when seeing the cat on the theremin was not that would make a sick sound. It was, oh god, my cat's gonna break my theremin.
Oh, that's punk rock. You're breaking instruments.
You gotta
Oh,
suffer
wait.
for your
Gavin, when,
Kate. Oh.
when you said we were gonna go live, did you mean we're currently live?
Well,
We're
it
live
is
on
now.
that video. Right?
Ah,
Okay.
I can.
But
oh, man.
nobody's watching.
Oh wait, is there no audio?
No, there's audio.
No, there is.
Okay, okay.
Where the video is the placeholder, but yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay, cool.
I can try and rustle up my cat for a cat sighting. He's very amenable to being picked up. Let me retrieve my son briefly.
Turtles couldn't stop me picking him up. He tried.
One of my cats is totally fine with being picked up, and the other one is will take you to hell if you try it. I love the rare sighting of the rest of Kate's house.
Oh wow, she doesn't live in a void.
And unsurprisingly, it matches everything else in Kate in her room. Aww. I feel bad. I feel like I need to swap the scene view so everyone can see the cat. Like this is such a precious moment.
Harrowhark. His name is Harrow. His Harrow for short.
I love him.
He's very small, and he's very sweet,
So
and he's
blessed.
very tolerant to me holding him like a little baby. And he's also oh hi. And he's almost completely black. He's got a little white spot on his chest. So he is, as you can see, he is a complete and utter void on my webcam, which is pretty good.
That is very good.
How old is he?
He is I guess now he's like 4 months oldish. Maybe he's only still kind of close to 3.5 probably.
That's so exciting. They're so crazy when they're young.
He's very little. Well, he's grown. He's gained like 0.8 pounds since he's been here, and he was only 3 to start with. So
Oh wow.
yeah, so he is growing. Are you gonna fall asleep? Is this what's happening right now?
Oh.
This little man. Here, you can go on my lap if you want. Oh, he's full boneless right now. There we go. There we go.
Can you describe what
man.
being boneless for a cat means?
It means here. hold on.
Liquid.
It's
Cat,
like
cat is liquid.
Fair enough.
cat is liquid.
I see.
Are you tired, little man? There we go. Yeah, he is falling asleep. But yeah, he's a good little man. But also, as cats are wont to do, an expert at getting into places and doing things that he should not.
Yes, of course. It's a little rascal.
Yes.
you might say.
I'm
This
glad
is
he's
my-
well trained.
This is my first cat experience. I like never grew up with a cat or spent any prolonged period of time around cats. So having him is very exciting, especially because he is very much a cat that acts like a dog. We've trained him to like come when he's called, and like he's like super cuddly.
That's so good.
Like, he's a good little man. Yeah, good. And to please him, I've also got a tie that's a fish.
I love that.
Thank you.
Ziba, I think this was like probably from a few days ago, but I saw something on Slack that Ichiro posted about you guys like being on a rooftop playing like
buckets.
Yeah, what was that?
I've been working with a few people to try and do some sort of public performance art thing, and one of the people had a bunch of buckets already with piezoelectric sensors on them, and so we just sort of been jamming around this idea of what's sort of a walk up, immediately have fun with strangers hitting on buckets type game. So I've been working on something like that, and it's that was our first meetup play test out at the Fable Vision Studios on Newberry. It was a hoot.
That's awesome.
That sounds like a hoot.
We did this is our second project, sort of this rough collection of people. We did did you see the art boat thing? Chris was on that. We got made big oars with large wooden sticks and wheels.
We have like video of that somewhere.
Yeah, we have video. Yeah, and we zip tied
I haven't heard of
Wiimotes.
this.
It's an unlisted video that Chiro did. And so we got a big inflatable boat and set it up in Davis Square. Put a projector screen in front of it. Got a 3-piece band to sing the SpongeBob theme song. Got 2 of these remotes with wheels and Wiimotes. And made this game where you had to use the Wiimotes to roll and effectively paddle and steer this boat down the game thing up there.
That's incredible. Oh my god, I love that.
Sounds pretty fun.
All right, the only footage I have of it is on my Instagram, so I'm gonna post that in the chat.
I get the video. It's unlisted. I just have to find it in my history.
Oh man,
Let me see if I can.
I'm pulling this up right now. Oh, this is awesome. Oh, I love that. It reminds me of the one time I made it out to GDC in person, the Alt Control GDC.
Oh, Alt Control GDC was so cool.
That was
They had like a coal mining one when I went.
That's the one that I always think about.
Yeah.
Is the one where you're shoveling coal for the train. Is that the one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Explain this game. This sounds wonderful.
It was incredible. It was like It was a competitive game. And you were both train drivers, or I guess conductors. And so you had these tubs of golf balls colored black that were your coal, and you had to take shovels and shovel the coal like into a funnel in order to get it to go, to keep your train going. And then you also had there was like a pull thing, like a whistle for each side where you had to scare coyotes off the track, and you also had in the middle there was a track switcher, and it was really spectacular. And it's funny because I also remember talking to the people who made it, and they were like, I'm like, this is amazing, like this is a great thing you've got there, and they're like, yeah, it's cool, it keeps on breaking.
That sounds like a great arcade game or something, like one
absolutely.
of those really elaborate arcade games.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, yeah. I love those. I want to go to an arcade again so bad. I saw a video of one recently where it's like skee ball mixed with bowling. Like you bowl a ball up into a slot at the end of the arcade, and above that slot where the ball goes in is a screen, and your ball is visible on that screen, and it turns into a bowling ball in a bowling alley based on how you throw it in the lane.
I think I've seen that before.
I was at Free Play in Worcester the other day.
Oh yeah.
The arcade there, and they have these rhythm game machines that are I'm pretty sure they're Japanese only, because definitely don't see them anywhere. Really interesting input schemes and a lot of Japanese EDM. And I'm just sitting there playing on the low difficulties, tapping the buttons, moving back and forth. And then this guy comes up, who I guess he works there or something. He just comes up, he cracks his knuckles, and he chooses the highest difficulty, and his fingers are just flying across the pads, and he's getting 500 notes so quickly. It's fantastic. And I was just too ashamed to keep playing.
God, I really feel that. Back in high school when I went to Kineticon all the time, they had an arcade section, and one of the games they had was like those, you know, those drum ones, like the Japanese like drum rhythm games. And it was always so funny because, like, you know, Kineticon, you get all sorts of folks. So you would have like this long line to play the drum game because it was obviously the most popular. And you'd have like me like going in, like doing like Super Mario on the easiest difficulty, like that. And then immediately after you get like, you know, like
Yup.
I spooked the cat. I'm so sorry, Hera. It's like, what are you doing?
I've gone to an arcade in Springfield a few times, and anytime anyone touches the DDR machines, it's just like I could never reach that amount of potential, like that skill level.
Oh, I always look at DDR and I'm like, that would be so easy. I'm just gonna get on there and I'm gonna show my moves, and then I'm like out of breath immediately and doing terrible.
First time I played DDR is in a competition, a public competition. So there was like it was like a dorm Olympics, and they were like, it was mostly physical stuff. And then there was somebody brought DDR, and they're like, "Oh, well, Ziba plays video games. Let's nominate him as our dorm DDR champion."
Yeah, the skills must transfer.
I didn't understand even that you could remove your foot between presses. I remember it was more like Twister, and it was
Oh my god,
not working
playing on mega hard
in
difficulty.
front of a bunch of people.
That's
Also,
incredible.
give me just a moment. I'm gonna move my son. He is my for those of you watching, my cat is here, and I'm moving him out of my room because I guarantee you he's gonna start chewing on my laptop cord in the middle of the show, and I'm going to have to interrupt in the middle of a question to put him away. So I'm gonna do that preemptively.
Fair enough.
What? Come on, run outside. You were full boneless again, huh? Look at him.
No bones.
I love cats.
Cats are great.
So sorry.
Ashley, I don't know if you can see behind me, but right there's my finger. Jordan, the kegler.
I can barely see it, but
Yeah.
full of soup.
Are you trying to point out a cat? Because a
No,
guy.
I'm trying to point out a dude.
Oh, okay.
Come closer. No.
Oh, I see now. Did the internet
Yeah.
shut out on you? I was just like, in
No,
the
I'm
middle.
literally on
Oh,
the
is that
internet
Jordan?
right now. Yeah, this is Jordan.
Hi, Jordan.
Whole gang's here.
The internet doesn't even work.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
But back to DDR. I've been trying to get into DDR, as you can see from the dance mat mounted to my wall.
That's not how you play. I know that much.
Yeah, yeah, I just lie up there and I go, but you know, I, despite the fact that I have been practicing it decently, I've really fallen off the wagon. I was a lot better in late 2020 into 2021. I am so bad. I'm someone who's like, I can do like music stuff, like, but rhythm games are somehow just completely beyond me.
What do you play it on?
The dance mat.
Yeah.
There's like an open source DDR called Step Mania.
Gotcha. Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah. So they, I was like, oh yeah, I'll give it a go. So I just plug it into my laptop and whip out Beauty and the Beast Eurobeat version.
Nice.
I don't know. There's a lot of anime on there, which is really tragic for me who doesn't watch anime. But you know, you'll take what you can get, which is Beauty and the Beast Eurobeat.
You just gotta start making your own maps.
I've been trying to do that, and you know what? I'm really terrible at it.
The other day, I bought a Wii Guitar Hero controller sitting over there, so I can
Fantastic.
play Clone Hero.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for the Wiimote because you need that to connect it, but I'm gonna go back to 2007.
Oh, good. As well, you should.
Have you looked at the prices of Guitar Hero controllers? They are so expensive these days, and like
Are
the
they
drums too. Like getting the whole set costs you so much money. I would have thought those things were just like, you know, cheap plastic at this point, but
No,
people still want them.
Like, well, Guitar Hero, I mean, or in Rock Band, they're still putting out DLC like every week, but you can't buy the instrument, so you got an audience that's still being stoked up.
Somebody's out there.
I remember, I think someone came over to play Guitar Hero or Rock Band, or whichever the one still getting DLC, and they downloaded it on my PS5, and I got notifications for like every DLC that was installed for like at least 2 hours. It was awful.
My roommate got an Oculus Quest recently, or a Quest 2, exclusively to play Beat Saber.
Nice.
We went to a friend's house, and he had one, and he was like, "Oh, like, have you seen Beat Saber? Have you checked this out?" My roommate, who like never really experienced VR before, was like, "Yeah," and literally like the moment after we left his house, they were like, "I know what I must do." You know what? It's a good time. I love
The
Beat
Quest is
Saber.
fun, especially if you set up the whole like AirLink thing and you stream stuff from your desktop. Fantastic.
And I know that this is not like new necessarily with the Quest, but not having to set up control towers, my beloved. Like I hated that. Like I know VR is like kind of like a contested topic in terms of its like viability or whatever. I always thought it was at least like fun, but I hated anytime like I had to demo like a VR game like for the WPI PAX booth or like for whatever. I hated having to like lug around like the stands and set them up and like have this huge bulky wired headset and the Quest really like takes like some pretty much all of the bugaboos I had with it away. Good times.
I've always been meaning to get into VR, but yeah, where am I gonna find the room to set that whole thing up? Like, I'm in an apartment. I don't have 8 by 8 feet or whatever.
Yeah. We have like a like little like probably like a 4.5 by 4.5 square in the living room if we move the coffee table. And the cat Harrow is as I've mentioned very cuddly, so what he likes to do when you're in VR is cuddle up by your feet. So
that's pretty
That's
precious
never good.
though.
it's really cute, but it's the exact wrong place you need him to be.
Always
underfoot. Oh my god, we've lost Ziba to the Matrix, to
He's
the
gone
void.
into the metaverse.
He's in the-
Yeah,
oh
he's
my
gone
god,
into the metaverse. Ziba, no.
gonna become an NFT now.
I was about to say that. Oh man, incredible. Oh yeah, also if you see me drinking out of a water bottle, it's because another cat development is that he likes to drink out of loose glasses.
My cat is the same way.
I was gonna say, you're drinking out of a water bottle? My God, what's
No,
going
my
on?
God. No, that's
Who would do that?
That's the least thing that you would expect a water bottle to be used for. No, but he I think like it was like the second or third night he was home, which we haven't had him for super long. It was like the second or third night he was home. I accidentally left out like a mug of water, and I heard my roommate go like, "Oh," and I turned around and he was drinking from it, and I looked at the water and I looked to my roommate, and my roommate's face just falls, and they go, "You can't, he just licked his asshole with that tongue." I was like, fine.
All right, I think with that, we're gonna take us into
That
the
riveting
end of the show.
transition.
That's a wrap. That's the show.
That's it, yeah.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to SHO tonight. I'm Gavin, and tonight with our wonderful hosts Ziba and Kate, they'll be interviewing Ashley Rogers. But before we jump into that, I have a few short announcements. So Fig Talks will be happening in 2 weeks from now. Boston Unity Groups is holding their Lightning Talks on Wednesday, May 25th. We will be hosting an event next month on the 20th to be determined. And additionally, after the show tonight, feel free to jump into the Boston Indies Topia for a quick little happy hour. All right, so that wraps up the announcements. I'm gonna throw it over to the intro, and we're gonna jump right into the show.
Intro.
Oh boy. All right. Welcome to the Boston Indies talk show and happy hour, the fun and funky internet zone where we talk to cool Boston game devs about their equally cool projects and lives. We are back from our post-BFIG hiatus. We are slightly more humid, but with the same level of quality content for your viewing pleasure. I am one half of this early summer night's dream team, your Hawaiian-shirted cookout uncle, Kate Olguin. And with me is the incomparable...
Me. I am also here. I am Ziba. And I too prepared a witty string of words to say, introduce myself. Hello, it's me.
That was a
Ziba.
good string of words. I like that. I'm trying to draw attention to the fact that I'm wearing not one but two Hawaiian shirt patterns in addition to the fish tie.
What's the legal limit?
The legal limit. I think at one point I had a Hawaiian shirt coat, Hawaiian shirt shirt, and pants, and I think I was also wearing like a holographic tie. So I think that's the peak limit you can get of both Hawaiian shirts and I want to say fashion as a whole. Call me Met Gala. But
You maxed out.
maxed out. Yeah, that's all you can do.
Try again. Dang. Whew. So that's what you've done either post BFIG hiatus time is fashion.
Yeah, I've invested in an assortment of shirts of garish colors so that I can quickly emulate becoming a bird of paradise. I'm gonna do, that bird that does like the dance where they like, oh, that's gonna be me soon. Watch out, Boston. How about you, Ziba? What have you invested in besides witty words, of course?
I was on the Red Line Saturday night. I don't know. It's not too late. I'm taking the Red Line. This is my gaming highlight of the week, maybe the month. I'm taking the Red Line. Somebody gets on. They stand across from me. Next stop, group of people, bit of a party shows up on the other side, and I don't really pay attention. But one of them is they start like making eyes at each other, the group, and then they're like arguing about something. Then one of them just brings over a bag. He opens it up, and it's just full of stolen liquor, like really nice bottles with all the security devices on. And like they argue for a while, and then like the guy just pulls out a wad of cash and buys some. I'm like, all right, that's really my entry. And then I was going home for my D&D session, and I get in the group, and I had completely forgotten that in the last session we had stolen a bunch of liquor, and that the entire plan for that night was we ended up spending the whole hour, no prompting from me, trying to find someone to pawn our stolen liquor off on. And so like I spent my Saturday night like trying to role play that my life was as grand an adventure as these people were just living on the Red Line.
That's spectacular. Oh my god. This is also really funny because I was also on the Red Line Saturday night, but I had a slightly less cryptic thing happen to me, which was just a man came onto the Red Line with a huge speaker blasting tunes. Which that's like whatever, but the thing that was amazing was that one of the tunes that he started blasting was Take a Hint from Victorious, the Disney Channel original show from like 2008. And so I was like, oh, okay, you know what, I'm okay with Subway DJ if he's gonna play some bangers.
Nice. Boston area brings us all the best things.
It's true. Including video games.
Yeah, you know what? I believe that we have a lovely recap that you put together of a bunch of the work done. What is the time frame we're coming? We're calling the mid-May edition.
Mid-May edition.
Bit showboating, where we're just gonna quickly review a bunch of the work and joyful play that people have shared in the Slack since our last bit showboating. So
yes,
yeah,
and also shout out to Gavin for so kindly helping me finish up the slides. Appreciate you, Gavin.
Thank you. Give me one moment. I just gotta pull up the presentation.
Oh boy.
I take back every nice thing we ever said.
Gavin, you're fine. No, but never. Oh man. I'm trying to think of like I'm still thinking about Subway DJ Guy and about like whether it reflects more on him that he was playing that, or whether it reflects more on me that I knew instantly from the opening, oh yeah, this is Take a Hint from Victorious from Disney Channel 2008, and I did not watch Disney Channel.
It's possible
I did
that
not have
dude,
cable.
It's possible that dude doesn't know that, and that was just a song to him.
I hope he just thought it was like, this is a banger. I love this. I hope that that's what he thought. That's
Did
my
you start
perfect
singing.
dreams.
That was a chance to make a friend and a real impression.
That's a good point. Ah, man. Ships passing in the night. Like us passing on the red line, I guess. I like to imagine that this was all happening on the same subway car. Or like in the same in the same train. Like in
You
one
did
car.
have a speaker on that other end, but I had headphones in. I didn't know what's going on. It's possible. Did you see a dude also pull out a giant Tupperware of weed on that same time? Like it was a big one.
Incredible.
Same dude who bought the liquor. So he's like, all right, I did a shady liquor deal. Time to sort my pound pot stash.
It's like trying to speed run all of the vices.
It's a one-stop shop.
It's a one-stop shop. Especially it's one stop because it's on the T. Ha ha ha.
There you go. You don't even have to stop. It's just there.
Oh man.
Thank you guys for killing time. Sorry.
Oh no worries, Gavin.
I was like so ready. I had everything ready, and I was like, you said a bit showboating, and I was like, oh no.
We're getting a sneak preview of behind the scenes.
I hope right now you're actually writing a new shader for some reason. That's what
This is
requires.
This is actually deeply disturbing to me because I was in the Unity editor like for a good chunk of the day at work today, and now it's back. And
Oh no.
I'm so sorry.
They're following you
No,
home.
I didn't mean to bring that back onto you.
It's fine. I had a good time. Oh man.
Wait.
I see the little green
Almost
Pac-Man. I see the
perfect.
TV. Oh my God, Gavin, you're gaming. You're cracked. You're gaming. Becoming an animal who says that all the time now.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh my god, wait.
Yeah.
Everyone's really seeing how the sausage is made tonight. 1 second.
No, I love it. I love sausage.
Well, I'll just while I've got time to fill here, I guess the audience can't see when we were dealing with that. I was just wondering how my coloration is on the video. So, mild gallows humor here. I emceed a funeral a little while ago over Zoom,
no.
and at the end of it,
A Zoom funeral.
funeral over
Zoomeral.
Zoom, yeah. There's been a lot of those the last few years, but I was the MC, and at the end of it, as people were just chatting, the formal ceremony was over, someone asked me why I was wearing lipstick. And I looked at my camera because, like, my face, it is, like, I'm getting a bit of weird coloring on right now. And so, like, I became a little obsessed with that comment. And I have been, I got, like, OBS running through all these filters right here so I can actually, like, adjust my coloration on here. I've been playing with it, just trying to, like,
Desaturate your
natural.
lips.
Yeah.
That's incredible. And I see you put on lipstick for tonight's show. No. Oh,
Weird,
excellent.
That's the look.
Oh,
That's
that's
the
the
look.
look.
Our audience doesn't, I think,
No, I don't think they see
look
it.
like-
not all tortured with my, I can
You-
sunburn myself.
You look like the main character of like an 80s like NES like video game. Like you look like some like off-brand version of the Noid.
Well, we've only got a few colors left for the skin palette, so.
Yeah.
You guys
I
are
think-
good whenever.
Oh, Gavin Gaming, thank you so much.
All right.
All right, it's bit showboating. Let's get into it.
Yeah. Oh, look at this. Mark Sullivan. He game jammed out what looks like a delightful play on words for a golfing game in space. I like that. That is looking really cool. We got a link we share with that for the global game jam this came out of. Well done, Sully. Everybody go play that.
Hell yeah. We've also got Shane Denhart from Evil Villain Games. They're continuing work on Rolling Rogues. Recently got a screenshot of one player resurrecting another. That's the one on top. I really am loving this, like, speaking of D&D, this very cleric moment. And also they've got a new environment that you can see them rolling around in there right now. Very excited. We've seen them working on that for a bit. So
Those round animals are just so cute.
they're really good.
Ian Klinkenbeard was dusting off a puzzle game he made years of college. I played quite a bit of this. I recommend everybody give it a try. I played it on Android. I think that's all where it is. Yeah, it's a delightful little one, and he was just thinking about maybe I should dust it off and I don't know, get more people playing it. It is absolutely worth it. Check it out.
Our very own Gavin Camlin, who I've never heard of before and definitely isn't running everything right now behind the scenes, has participated in making Wacky Beetles, worked on a cute little game about raising beetles for Game Jam a week ago. I say a week ago, but when we made these slides was way past that. Anyways, wacky beetles. I love pets, but with a side of eldritch horror. I love this. So yeah, definitely check that out on itch.io.
And Shane Smith had been doing for a while what he would call melodic meandering to find the heart of this game. He thinks he's got it, but he's excited and wants to share it with people. So there's a WebGL prototype, and you can check it out on his itch page.
Matt Brailsford has been up to a lot. He had a lovely, so the last, as you know, the last bit show we did was at BFIG, and he actually made a Twitter thread with a bunch of highlights from BFIG that he liked. So go check that out. He also had his wildly successful GDC talk and approach to game art for solo devs, small teams, and non-artists. You can check that out on the Giant Light Studios site. And he's also been working on a deck building roguelike. So yeah, Matt has really been killing it.
Oh dang, this one. Yeah, thanks for making a slide about me. It does feel a little, it's a little insane, like looking at the internals of my minds of what I didn't remember I'd represented out there. So like, what did I do? I made a graph. I completely forgot that I posted a word bubble test to anybody. And then I spent way too long gazing at something I did 15 years ago? No, 10 years ago. So that's what I've been up to. Absolutely wildly productive.
Incredible. Speaking of wildly productive, let's check out Moondrop, which is a game that has so many things in it. It's crazy. It's a farm sim. It's a roguelite. And he's just finished another pass at a trailer, and he's been working at figuring out how to mesh those two genres together. I'm really excited to see where this goes. So go wishlist that on Steam, Moondrop.
Chad Stewart has been painting dogs and loving it. I should have read ahead. To honor his late dog Larry. That's very nice.
We accidentally skipped Jesse. Oh no.
What?
Double back, Gavin. Return to us. No, it's Jesse. I'm glad I got Jesse actually, because Jesse has truly, when I was going through Slack to make all these, Jesse has been doing like a million things. It's incredible. Like it seems like every other day, Jesse's got a new thing on like what appears to be his like modular building, maybe block placement thing. I don't know.
Jesse was doing something I thought was really cool that I would encourage a lot of people to do. He was like, hey, can anybody hop on Discord with me right now to play the build? And like, okay. So like I actually was like just pulled into his testing, right into his world for a moment right there. I thought that was a pretty cool way to connect and push your game forward. So yeah, I actually got to play a little bit of this.
Oh, amazing. Love that. And then as we are covered, Chad Stewart has been Doggy Texture, Streamlabs, and it's got a character making faces.
Yeah. Where are we? All right. Look at the skydiving, Manny. Some AR mixed reality stuff. This was a Ludum Dare game. Ludum Dare. Yeah.
I'm also fully obsessed with the Nerf AR prototype. I just love that. It's really good.
That is. Ooh, yeah. Sorry, I'm in there. I'm at it. It took me way too long to parse what that GIF was actually going on in that GIF. But I'm fully there now. That's really nice.
Love it. Nick V has been working on one thing that is easy to show and one thing that is not. The easy thing to show is Earthbound style followers. I mean, look at that right now. It looks really cool. And the thing that is harder to show is his major new version of his Game Maker localization library, Polyglot. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, go check that out on itch.io.
And Saul has been doing something that's bad in athletics and good in game development. They've been juicing, as they put it. And it does. This is another one of the projects for you longtime followers. You'll know Saul's been sharing this beautiful bug evolution with us this whole time. So it's really, I feel like I'm watching it grow up. We're seeing its whole childhood here on the show. It's lovely.
Really good. And we've got some Portal VFX from Mark Myers, Desolus. I remember seeing Desolus ages ago. And
talk about watching a child grow up. This one's ready for college.
Yeah, Desolus.
Sorry, Mark. We love you.
It's incredible. Like I always love seeing updates from Desolus. It's always so visually stunning, and this is no exception. So go wishlist that on Steam.
All right, Evan Martinez showing off Cosmic Courier, which is a twin-stick shooter. That's looking pretty nice and polished. I'm liking that thick line art on that boss character there. And you can check it out on itch.io.
Josh Jacobs from Stumphead Games. He has continued work on Super Chrome, his Bullet Purgatory. Super Chrome is actually available on Steam now, and what has just become available on Steam now is the update for this particle-based boss. God, I'm really obsessed with the use of like light and particles in space here. It looks super cool. Definitely give that a go.
Ooh, Benny Wilson with some nice stylized driving adventure action going on here. But also, Benny has been doing a couple other things. Prepping to give a video game talk for middle school, walking them through making a simple speed boost effect. That's fun. And starting a nonprofit focused on video game education and community outreach. And they got a few small projects, some high school classes, and trying to get some more students involved.
The current state. It is the current state of it's rough, but he wanted to get a playable slice this month, and look at that. Oh man, very exciting. And also some Monster Loves You Too here. I actually did some QA for Monster Loves You Too like ages ago. And so it is really, really exciting to see both these projects continue to develop. It's really rad.
Pop-up style is so gorgeous.
It's really cool.
All right, Michael Silverman, our venerable, very in the absolute contrast to my update, which is like, dude made a graph maybe. Michael Silverman's always here with like a nearly finished project or something to really keep trying out. So there, Michael Silverman is working on an Xbox launch and really trying to push to figure out how to get some traction with that. So I think a lot of people can sympathize with having a project where that's at. But looking good, and best of luck as that comes out.
Samara Atkinson, sometimes it's the simplest victories that are the sweetest ones. Got remappable controls working last night. Bless you, Samara. Thank God, because we love remappable controls. Wishlist Parkour Posse on Steam.
John Bellini, hey John, just messing with you. John Bellini has been dutifully, as always, trying to make sure he does his best to get his baby out there in the world, working hard on Alpha 1, sign up for the Steam Fest, making sure everything communicates, does a really good job of engaging us here in our communities with getting a lot of feedback. As you can see, the discussion around build points never became juvenile or funny, and that's what John.
Oh boy, it's our good friend Jenkins. So Michael Carrier of Zapdot has leveled up their Jenkins pipeline over the weekend. And as he says, finally, something he could brag about that doesn't break NDA. Don't we all love Jenkins? Nice job, Michael. Oh, we lost Ziba. Oh no, am I adrift? Am I adrift on this lonely shore? Oh, Ziba's back. There we go. You're back.
Everything went dark. I don't know what happened. Consciousness I know time passed. What year is it?
We're on Aaron Cooper now, if you want to take that.
Aaron Cooper. Semimyth won the $1,000 runner-up for the Connecticut Game Dev competition, for which I was a judge. And of course it did well, as it did in the Master Digi Game Challenge, because Aaron has worked very hard and poured a lot of care into the deep lore of this project.
And for something a little bit different, Dan Williams has been working on a dog detective game. So he's curious about looking into CRT/VHS emulating shaders. And you can see there the before and after picture. And yeah, it's crazy how much a little bit of post-processing will make a huge difference. It looks really neat.
All right, after 2 years of hard work, Jason Gertner's Last Slice is out for free on Steam and itch and Newgrounds. Talk about juicing. This game looks juicy. Go squeeze some juice out of it and directly into your game
your gamer hole.
I was trying to avoid the word hole in there, but
Too bad. No. Yeah, go check it out. Definitely. Available on Steam now. We've got a cryptid sighting. We've got from Graham. It's Cozy Grove, made by our friends over at Spry Fox, specifically Graham. So you can go. He saw that at Target in Hawaii. Someone, he didn't see that at Target in Hawaii, but someone did. So you can go check out Cozy Grove on Steam or at your local Hawaiian Target.
I've seen it in much closer Targets, and
Oh, boy.
am envious and proud of
Go to Target right now. I mean, stay tuned, but also take us with you.
I do
to
feel like
Target.
there's pretty low security stopping me from printing stuff out and also putting it in Target.
Kind words available in your local Target soon.
Morg made keychain. It's nice.
Well,
The rock consumes us all.
Yeah, the little smiley face sign says the rock consumes us all, and then the little sad face sign says "Have a nice day," and I just really appreciate that.
I'll admit it came out of left field, but that's very welcome.
I love it. This one's also a mystery because I tried to find what that one was for, and I could not for the life of me. So I like to imagine it just exists in its own little vacuum. Wherever you are, Morg, I like your keychain. And we got loose nozzles. Last but not least, Chris Foster has been working on loose nozzles diligently for a long time, and he finally has a 99% complete trailer. The loose nozzles demo is in an Indiepocalypse bundle. Indiepocalypse, friend of the show, was our last bit show. So go check out Indiepocalypse so you can check out both Indiepocalypse and loose nozzles.
Yeah. Oh, the most recent Indiepocalypse also has one of the guests before that, Carolyn Lewis. What is that game? That puzzle switching game.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
That's a really cool game. Worth Indiepocalypse.
Q cubed.
Cubed, yeah.
Thank you, Chris.
Yeah, check that out.
Yeah.
And that is Devlog. That's the channel in the Slack. If you're not in the Slack, I don't think it's hard to figure out how to get in there. It should be open some way. And join us, share what you're working on, just so that we can encourage each other and have the joy of, making a graph and put it out there or something. I don't know. Just don't be alone in your game dev. We're better as a community.
And once every 5 or so months, either me or Gavin or some of us will go through and look painstakingly at all your things and think that's pretty neat and show them here for people to see.
No greater prize in gaming. All right. Well, speaking of all the great things in our community and sharing, I think we've got a guest today. What say we get the show moving on to our next phase?
Oh,
yeah,
boy.
Kate?
I would love nothing more. I've been waiting for it my entire life.
All right. Well, do you need someone who can code systems and gameplay, handle your client interactions, procedurally generate the content of your dreams? Do you need a rock star who can soft launch your app and A/B test it to glory? How about someone to talk C# to you in the morning, C++ for lunch, HLSL for dinner, and SQL for dessert? Well, find somebody else, because Ashley Rogers is already busy doing that, and more. Please give a warm welcome to today's guest, Ashley Rogers.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ah!
My many devoted fans, thank you.
Welcome.
Welcome.
How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. I'm happy to be here. I didn't know I was, I like how you introduced me.
Did you know you're going to be on the show tonight? Was that
No, I did remember that far.
So to give your new friends at all their respective homes some more context, you are 3 years out of Becker College, where you participated in a lot of Mass Digi activities. And since then, you've been coding game tech full-time for a few different companies. Have I told any lies yet?
No lies. Just truths.
Checking out.
And he mentioned, as I mentioned, game tech, but not necessarily game companies, because your current gig at Wave seems like it's a unique mission. So what is Wave?
Wave is a startup that does virtual concerts. The usual sort of simple analogy I make is to sort of the Fortnite concerts that they've done. They have many big names. But there is a few differences between what they do and what we do. I think probably most of all, we're actually trying to make live concerts, like not just live from the perspective of the people enjoying them, but also there's an actual performer somewhere in a studio performing, and their performance is motion captured and is actually live to everyone watching. And there's interaction that can be done between the performer and all the fans in attendance, and that's something that's a part of actual concerts that you go to. That it's really the sort of social experience, and that's not really what you get in these sort of more like scripted interactive experiences of like Fortnite's Ariana Grande concert, for example.
So the performers being live, have they messed up? Like, I've seen Ben Folds forget the words and swear up a storm, and it was delightful.
No, I mean they're pretty good at rehearsing things ahead of time, and I mean they're pretty good at performing. That is their job, but there's certainly complications with getting people in a mocap outfit, getting them to do the whole thing, getting it all synced up. There's always complications there, but we're refining it.
Wow. Yeah, and like that's really interesting because for normal mocap you would be capturing that and then processing it and putting it into a game. But this is significantly different. So how different is it from working on a game?
So it's essentially we have someone performing in a studio, and then like within half a second or so, that is what people are seeing. There's a very small delay, so it's instead of working with we kind of know how the whole show's going to go. It's more like working on like working on a cutscene or something. It's more like working on it's sort of like running an actual concert. It's sort of like I'm like a digital stagehand of a sort. Like I'm providing people the tools to perform with, and to put on a virtual concert, as opposed to making like a single experience that's going to be seen in one specific way.
Tech-wise, I don't know what you can or can't say about it, but like how, is it close to working in games, like the stuff, your preparations for it, like?
Yeah, so we started out in Unity, the company, and I'm certainly, I've spent a lot of time in Unity, a lot of time doing Unity dev for various different places. So I'm certainly, a lot of those skills transferred over. And then actually we've been trying to sort of all the stuff, over the years and years of working on this, we decided to essentially clear it all out and move over to Unreal, to a new platform. So that's actually been an interesting experience, essentially relearning, all these skills I had before in Unreal. And, there's definitely a lot of crossover. A lot of my coworkers, used to work in games. It's that sort of crowd. But it is, there is a bit of a difference to trying to put together an interactive, game that someone's going to play versus putting together the tools that are going to be used to build a concert that people are going to watch.
Wow.
Are you on call for any of the live stuff? Can you accidentally hit a button and ruin Justin Bieber's day?
I was gonna say, yeah, like
You
do you have to
can.
be on it the whole time? Like
So we've put a lot of, and this is an ongoing thing. Every show we figure out how to do it a bit better. But we have people in a studio. They have a MIDI controller with all the different buttons to handle the show. And of course, things can get messed up. We have multiple computers and all these other redundancies to try to mitigate all that. And of course, things still do mess up. That's how people know it's live. We try to fix it.
Wow. This is fascinating, and I could really go on and on probing you with questions about your job. But you're more than your job. You're also the jobs you did in your past, and let's talk about
I am the sum of all my jobs.
Well, I'm curious about, because you've sort of quickly gone from college into a really interesting position, a lot of deep technical stuff. And so I was curious about getting, into this, set for this part of your career. And I was actually talking to Ichiro about the value of interns a while back. And he said that he had been working with a great one, which turned out to be you.
Really?
And I wanted to read your own description for everybody of what Ichiro had you doing. So, I was tasked with developing a 2D isometric engine to graft onto the previously existing 3D game skeleton, writing a procedural generation algorithm to generate infinite new levels from scratch, and overhauling the game's systems to allow new mechanics to be implemented and old mechanics to be extended, while working with our external partners at Dejobaan to guide the project's direction. To me, that sounds like you jumped into the deep end and started swimming. That sounds like a hell of a lot for an intern. Was that intense, or did you just walk in and not even realize you were doing 7 jobs like a full indie?
I mean, it was, it wasn't my first experience interning, at least. That certainly made it easier. Sort of the situation was I went through the Mass Digi's sort of summer internship program in 2018. Actually, that I met Kate. Kate also went through that program at the same time. And then in 2019, it was decided, and this is it's happened a few different times with a few different people, but I was available. So I came back for 2019 and worked together with a few people on T-30, which is the product we're talking about here. Game. Why do I gotta say it that way? It's a game. So the game we were working on there, and it was definitely, it's a lot to go from, college where you're not really working with, you have some semblance of like an actual professional development environment, because that's what you're trying to you're going there to learn and to get experience doing. But it's certainly different to be faced with an actual, a game that somebody put together, and here you go. We have this set of tasks. We want to get to this point. We want to do all these things and get to this point. Can we do it? And there was a lot of big tasks. Procedural generation. That's not really something I'd done before. I could have taken the whole summer potentially, but we gave it a try. We managed to get a ton of stuff done, and it was in pretty good shape when I left it. And it's really good to look at the final product. Final game. Wow. What is it with me and product? The final game. It's really good to look at it. I think it turned out really well.
Amazing. So you mentioned we met at Mass Digi in 2018, and then also at the same time we were kind of going to college at the same time, mere blocks away from each other.
Yes.
I went to WPI, you went to Becker, and I know that also the way that Becker was structured, you were also while classes were happening at Becker, also doing Mass Digi stuff kind of at the same time. So what were some of the highlights from your time at either Becker or Mass Digi or both that you felt inspired you to work in games?
I would say, certainly working with Mass Digi, it was a very different experience from the rest of sort of gaming college. I don't know what a word you would use to describe that is. Yeah. But as opposed to a sort of an academic environment, where people
products.
Where they just make products. Yes. Where we're making games, of course. Well, no, it's more Mass Digi was sort of trying to run things as if it was an actual company, we're working at, and it, kind of is. So it was definitely, getting thrown into that was, it sort of changed my outlook on the whole thing. I went from being I got another 4 years of college of, reading books and doing tests and all that to, I could actually learn things here. I could actually be involved with some really interesting stuff. So there's a number of projects I worked on. I gotta say, Cyberdrive 2077, that is probably the highlight of my time at Mass Digi.
We got a question about that lined up, Cyberdrive, of course. But I am curious about how how did Mass Digi's simulation of a game business match up once you started getting your hands in different actual game businesses? How did it map? Did it make sense? Not asking for the dirt on them. I love Mass Digi. You know, I feel like sometimes my life is a simulation of business. Like, yeah, I'm making a business, but like, I don't know, I'm just doing it myself. So, like, how did their decision to be a business sort of hit when the rubber hit the road with your real business? Did it feel like, yeah, it's just what Mass Digi was doing? Or?
I mean, yeah, I think it was really good preparation. There was definitely differences, and in a lot of ways, frankly, when I got into the workplace, the expectations were a lot lower than what I had at Mass Digi. There's people already here who are running a team. There are people already here who are designing a game. You know, it's more of being a part of a team than you know, one of like a handful of people who are working on it. But it definitely was good to sort of get away from the college mindset of, you know, someone's going to assign me something. I'm going to look at what the assignment says and I'm going to do it and I'm going to turn it in and get a grade. Going from that into a mindset of like, this is what my boss says, like, we're doing, this is what the goal is. You know, we need to, like, I need to put in the work to figure this out and to organize it and to get things done, and to sort of take the initiative. And that was, I think, very, very useful when I got into the workplace, actually.
That makes sense. I'm going to snipe this next question too, Kate, because I was the one who was there in the 80s. I was just looking through your Mass Digi work, and I kind of want to know what the 80s mean to you, because you've got like Hyper Thunder Run 1980X, which is an 80s B-movie endless runner, and Cyberdrive 2077, which is like a recent interpretation of the future as it once was imagined to be in the 80s. So, like, what drew your teams to those vibes?
Well, for one, I think the 80s are sort of having a kind of a renaissance right now in terms of style. Definitely, there's a lot of, you know, musically and fashion-wise, you know, there's a whole bunch of stuff that's sort of trying to harken back to that period. And there's always been sort of, you know, I don't know where I get it from, but I've always sort of really been into the aesthetic of the stuff that was like just before when I was born. I don't know if I was like subconsciously trying to pretend to be older or something, but you know, I've always found that a really neat aesthetic. And so you know, Hyper Thunder Run 1980X, that was meant to be sort of like an 80s B movie, like a, you know, Terminator or something like that. We did the best we could in a school project. I don't think it really hit the mark on that one, but we learned a lot of things, and I think we executed it a lot better in Cyberdrive.
Both of them, I think, evoked your goal vibes pretty clearly. So, congrats on that.
That's good.
Yeah. And I know I remember hearing that Hyper Thunder Run had a slightly fraught development, or at least I remember actually getting handed. I got to see the art Bible for Hyper Thunder Run at one point, and it had a picture of the guy, like of the like a concept art of the protagonist, and it said like next to it, "Fuck hands, Big Mike," and that has stuck with me so strongly. I aspire to have this level of power as Fuck hands, Big Mike.
There's a certain dynamic when you're working in a college situation where you know, all these teams will get together and they'll make a project, and you know, there's sort of a team dynamic there. Everyone sort of knows each other. There's a bunch of inside jokes everyone comes up with, you know, things like that. And then inevitably, like next semester, you know, people leave, people go to different projects, people graduate, people, you know, change schools or whatever. And the team gets replaced with different people who have a different understanding and who don't know the inside jokes. I couldn't tell you the inside joke there. And so you sort of get this like patchwork of all the different teams and all the different people that have come in. And I would say a lot of student games end up in a bad place just because there's all these different people who are touching it, and it just sort of, it becomes a mess. It can be difficult.
But speaking of something that is never a mess, cute dogs, funny little animals. What and why is Shiba.online?
Yes. So back in the day, and by the day, I mean this was probably 2015, 2016, I knew there's a bot on Twitter that just posted pictures of Shiba Inus. It was called Shibsbot or something. It was pretty big. But I was in a Discord with the guy who ran it. And he's just like, here's my zip file full of dog pictures. Here's thousands of dog pictures. Well, what do I do with this? And around the same period, I was just buying a lot of funny domain names. I still own anime.lgbt. That's one I still use from that period. And I bought shib.online because that's kind of funny. And I have all these dog pictures, have this domain name. I can serve up the dog pictures on the domain name. And then I can make a joke about it being Shibs as a service, and it'll be kind of funny, and then I'll forget about it. And that's sort of how I thought it was going to go. But somehow, it made it out there somehow. It just sort of trickled out there. And it gets something, I checked a few days ago, it got like 1.2 million requests last month of just people looking for dog images. You look it up and it's in a bunch of people's like, here's how to use an API. Here's an example API you can use. A bunch of people's Discord bots that post pictures of dogs, just use it. So many random things. And I had no idea that anyone would use it.
I
see why I see. Like I saw it really was cute, but now you mentioned like I could see a lot of like real practical of like job talk type things or small projects or type stuff. And I can just imagine like every 300th dog that you served up was just like, don't hire this person, they're the devil or something.
Oh my God, I would have so much power.
You've got some griefing power now. I'm sorry I went there, but like, yeah.
I've thought like, what could I do with it? There's a lot of requests. My big mistake, I didn't make people sign up to use the API. You can just sort of request it. So I can't like limit requests or like charge people money for using it a ton, which isn't the end of the world because it doesn't cost me that much. But if I did anything with it that would make more people use it, I would probably want that to be the case.
I feel like if you charge a subscription fee, you could actually get a sizable number of just joke subscriptions. Like, it'll be like, this is so dumb, I have to pay you.
I gotta subscribe to the dog. I'll come up with like a monthly dog newsletter that'll just have random dogs in it.
It's like that one that's going around that's like sending Dracula in real time. You can be that, but sending dogs in real time.
Yeah.
Dogs
I
are
think
always
that's
in real
my
time,
future.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. Dogs exist on a different sort of plane of time. Yeah.
Exactly. I think Einstein said that.
Yes.
So you've been doing web work, back-end stuff, games, products, virtual concerts and stuff. So you've worked with a lot of tech for a variety of goals. I'm curious, are there like techs or projects or topics that are like still on your wish list that you haven't gotten around to getting your hands into yet?
Oh man. I mean, I gotta say, for a while, like I always wanted to work at, I never wanted to like go through the trouble of like moving to Boston to actually make this happen. But like a company like Harmonix seems pretty cool. They do like rhythm games and such. And working at Wave, my current company, that's actually, it gets me a lot of the way there. A lot of the same people. We have, like the former like art director at Harmonix or something came to work for us. Like we have plenty of ex-Harmonix people, plenty of, the sort of they're into games, but they're also into music. I sort of like that type of person. But it's that last step of like getting to work on rhythm games. You know, rhythm games aren't really a thing right now. Well, outside of the indie sphere. So I don't know when I'd be able to work on that for money. But maybe someday Guitar Hero will come back, and then my dreams can be a reality.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I could see you could start advocating for points for people dancing along to the concert. I mean, you're halfway there with where you're at. You can start the little, and you've probably got enough people along with you thinking that to just.
That is true. Yeah, we can add.
I was just gonna say, turn your concert into a bullet hell.
Yeah.
I think you could do it. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
I
who knows
actually
what the
love that.
future
Like
could
the
hold.
lasers, the light show's coming at you, and you gotta dodge it, or you get kicked out of the concert.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how you pay admission, is by being good. Okay.
We can solve the problem of Guitar Hero controllers being so expensive. We'll model them in the metaverse. And you'll just use your keyboard or something.
I have played some VR drum stuff, and I feel like we're not there without that haptic feedback and with the tiniest bit of lag. I don't know. But I'm going to call you out on something from the pre-interview you admitted to loving, which was boring strategy games.
Yes.
You just want to play them, or do you want to make them too?
Oh my God, that has been, so the company that makes all of the boring strategy games that I like, which is Paradox, right? They're out in Sweden. And as much, Sweden seems like a nice place, it's pretty far away. I don't know if I want to move to Sweden, but if there was a way to work for them that didn't involve moving to Sweden, I would jump on that pretty quickly. That is, I really love the games. I really want to see what goes into making a game like that. I've always, throughout all my time in game development, from just making simple Flash games, like when I was like 12 or whatever, I've always wanted to make like, tycoon kind of games or strategy kind of games, things like that. But something about it, just the math involved, I could never really grasp enough to make one myself. So I need to work for Paradox so I can sort of cheat off of them and sort of steal their notes.
Gotcha. I just went to the jobs page. It does look like they're minimally remote, only hybrid. You're going to have to go to Sweden for that one, so maybe.
Yeah, that's tricky. Someone else has got to like move into the market, and then maybe I can work for them.
Watch out, Paradox.
So why do you call them boring?
Because you're sort of just sitting there staring at a map for hours on end. And telling anyone else about it is always the most boring stuff. Like, wow, I united Japan as Hosokawa, and I did not reform, so I got to keep the daimyo government structure, and I did it without going into debt. Wow. Nobody knows what that means. Nobody knows if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
I always wonder how they make trailers for those games. Like, because you're supposed to like highlight like your real like your most interesting, riveting gameplay, and it's like I like to imagine it's like zooming in with screen shake on like your low budget.
If you watch like the Crusader Kings trailer or whatever, it's just shots of the game with like narration of like, my liege, you need to conquer the peasants. It's pretty fun.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for coming on, Ashley.
Absolutely.
You've been a terrific guest. We're just about out of time, but where can everybody follow you and all of the incredible things that you're doing?
Yes, you can follow me at twitter.com/Covoxkid, COVOXKID. You can also find me at my website, which I fixed.
Hey.
This is the trouble of running your own DNS server, is that it's more pain than it's worth, and I don't know why I did it.
You kept the dog API up, but let your personal portfolio go down.
I have priorities.
Yeah, and they seem to be in the exact right place.
Yes.
Yeah.
My website, ashley.rogers.cafe. Got a nice URL there. Unfortunately, Rogers Communications will not sell me a .rogers domain name. I'm thinking of starting a lawsuit. We'll see.
Yeah, my maiden name's Comcast, and it's not. I couldn't-
Try having named Disney. No.
The guy named Pizza though. He's got it.
It's true. Someone for the people. Oh man, yeah. Thanks so much for coming on, Ashley. This has
Absolutely.
been delightful.
It's been a great time. Thanks
Yeah,
for having
round
me.
of applause for Ashley on the webs. I'm looking at. I forgot there's like a lag in the Twitch chat, and I'm waiting impatiently for the. There we go.
Yeah, here it is. Here they come.
Awesome. So everybody, check out the Play Games channel on Slack because we can play games together, not just talk about them. Check out the Jobs channel because people are posting and searching and offering awesome things there. Post it in
Including
the
Other
devlog.
Ocean. DM me. Sorry.
Right, yeah. Okay, good job. And do stay tuned now for the happy hour. We're going to open up this call. We're going to turn off the Twitch, but stay on the Zoom call. Hop in, say hello, hang out for a bit. That's going to be in just a
Oh wait,
moment.
are we going to Topia or are we staying in here?
Oh,
Sorry, Topia today.
Topia.
Oh my god.
This is news.
Where-
I heard you say
where's
the word at the
Topia?
beginning
Let me-
of the time. I thought you were describing the fantastical set you'd made, like
Oh my
like
god.
we exist in some sort of bit showtopia.
that
Going
would-
to topia.io/Boston Indies. And we're gonna walk around a funny little virtual world and say hello.
All right, last time we posted the link on the show, we got strangers bearing their asses in there. So we'll see how this goes this time.
Let's find out, baby.
It's definitely a party this time. Some dude's gonna sell us some bootleg liquor. Be there.
It's Ass Pig Monday. And if anyone asks, I mean aspic as in the savory 1950s gelatin dish.
Oh, I knew exactly what you meant.
Thank you. Yeah.
I did not. All right, throwing back to Gavin.
All right, thank you all for coming tonight. So as previously stated, we'll be hopping into the Topia over there for a quick happy hour. And we appreciate you all greatly. Can't wait to see you guys next time. See ya.